She sobbed quietly as I grabbed my coat and walked out into the night, the cold air stinging my face. Behind me, the home we'd built together felt like a prison of broken promises and lost love. I didn't know where I was going, but one thing was clear: nothing will ever be the same again. Alright people, consider subscribing to Afro Narrative, and I am Mike Wise Talga. Have you ever felt your world shatter in an instant? That's exactly what happened to me when I stumbled upon messages on my wife's phone. A simple curiosity led to a revelation that shook the foundations of my marriage. There it was, a conversation between her and her boss, a disturbing proposal, $100,000 for one night with both of us, me and her. The words burned into my mind like a scar I couldn't erase. As I scrolled through the messages, disbelief turned into a chilling realization this wasn't a joke. In this video, I will unravel the events that led me here, the emotional turmoil that followed, and the questions that now haunt my every thought. Was it betrayal, desperation, or something far more complex? Could love and loyalty survive this twisted proposition? Stay with me as I delve into the truth behind a shocking discovery that no one prepares you for. It was a quiet evening at home, the kind where the monotony of the day made me want to do something mindless. My wife was in the shower, and her phone buzzed on the couch beside me. A small, inconspicuous text notification flashed on the screen. Normally, I would ignore it, respecting our privacy. But this time, my curiosity got the better of me. I glanced at the name on the screen. Mr. Kamau, our boss. The message preview read, "We are still on for Friday night, right? Can't wait to finally meet him." My brow furrowed as I picked up the phone, my heart already beginning to race. With shaking hands, I opened the conversation. What I read felt like a punch to the stomach. "You'll both enjoy it. Trust me, $100,000 isn't small change," the message read. "You won't agree. He doesn't even know yet," my wife responded. "Then find a way to convince him," Kamau replied. Each message hit harder than the last. The chat thread stretched back for weeks, a meticulous negotiation I had been oblivious to. Kamau was offering a life-changing sum for a night with both of us. The idea was revolting, the betrayal cutting deeper than any wound I had ever known. I couldn't breathe. Was this real? The woman I loved, my partner, had been contemplating selling us. A torrent of questions flooded my mind. Was she struggling with something I didn't know about? Had our finances driven her to this madness? Or had greed and ambition consumed her? When she stepped out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, I was waiting. Her phone was still in my hand, the messages open on the screen. I looked up, meeting her eyes with a mixture of pain, anger, and confusion. "What is this?" I asked, my voice low but trembling. She froze. For a moment, guilt and panic flashed across her face. Then, as if a mask had slipped into place, her expression hardened. "It's not what you think," she said. "Really? Because it looks like you are about to trade our marriage for a payday," I spat, my voice rising. "Is this what I've become to you? A bargaining chip?" Tears filled her eyes. "It's not like that," she whispered. "I was desperate. I thought it would help us." "Help us? By betraying me? By degrading our love for money?" I felt my chest tighten as the weight of her words crashed into me. "I didn't know what else to do," she cried. "We're drowning in debt. The house, the car payments. It's all falling apart. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I swear." But he wouldn't stop pressuring me. He kept raising the amount. Her words felt like shards of glass, cutting deeper with each syllable. Part of me wanted to believe her, to hold her and tell her we would figure it out together. But another part of me, darker and colder, couldn't shake the image of her typing those messages, knowing full well what they meant. Did she ever truly love me? Or was I just a convenience? Was I a partner or a pawn in a desperate game of survival? And what kind of man had I become to ignore the signs of a crumbling marriage until it was too late? As I stood there, my world unraveling, I realized that the answers wouldn't come easily. Some wounds take more than time to heal, if they ever do at all. I stared at her, my mind a storm of rage, sorrow, and a desperate hope that maybe Just maybe, there was something left to salvage. You didn't mean for it to go this far. Are you listening to yourself? You were negotiating with him, planning how to sell us. The word sell tasted like poison on my tongue. Her shoulders surged as fresh tears fell down her cheeks. She took a step closer, reaching out, but I pulled away. Her hand hovered in the hair before falling to her side. I thought it was a way out, she whispered. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Please, let me explain. I love you. I never wanted to hurt you. I let out a bitter laugh, a hollow sound that echoed in the space between us. You love me? Love isn't betrayal. It isn't deceit. And it's sure as hell isn't putting a price on your husband. Do you even know what love is anymore? For a moment, silence filled the room, thick with the weight of unspoken truths. I wanted to scream, to smash something, to feel anything but the numbing ache that spread through my chest. But anger couldn't mask the deeper pain. How long? I asked quietly. How long have you been planning this? She lowered her gaze. A few months, she admitted. It started with harmless flirting. I thought it would never go beyond that. But then, he started offering money, more than we'd ever make in a year. I didn't know how to say no. He's my boss. He has power over me. You could have come to me, I said, my voice breaking. We could have faced the death together. We could have found another way. But instead, you sold our dignity. I was scared, she whispered. Scared that you'd leave me. Scared that we'd lose everything. I didn't think straight. I wasn't strong enough. I shook my head, the weight of our words pressing down like a stone on my chest. And you thought I'd agree to this? That I'd go along with it? I wasn't going to let it happen, she insisted. I was going to cancel it, I swear. I would have stopped it before it went too far. Before it went too far? I repeated, my voice rising. It's already too far. You broke something between us. Trust doesn't survive this. How do we come back from this? Her eyes pleaded with me, desperate for forgiveness, for a chance to make things right. But I wasn't sure there was a right anymore. I can't do this. I can't undo what's been done, she said softly. But I can fight for us. Please, let me try. I wanted to believe her. My heart ached for the life we'd built, for the dreams we'd shared before greed and desperation poisoned it all. But trust, once shattered, is not easily pieced together. I need time, I said finally. The words heavy with finality. Time to think. Time to figure out if there's anything left worth saving. She sobbed quietly as I grabbed my coat and walked out into the night, the cold air stinging my face. Behind me, the home we'd built together felt like a prison of broken promises and lost love. I didn't know where I was going, but one thing was clear. Nothing will ever be the same again. Alright people, consider subscribing to Afro Narrative, and I am Mike Weistalga.